like one away from turning water into wine.
Yeah, you're gonna listen to 17. 17 is Q. Q is a show on CBC Radio. Okay, I think Tom Powers hosts it now. Tom Powers and Tim Baker are friends from The Rock in Newfoundland. So I have had a pretty quantum couple days, okay? You have to understand one thing with Kevin is that Kevin is a roller coaster.
Wow.
Okay, I'm going through the 7 stages of whatever all the time with my little eurekas and epiphanies that no one seems to care about. You know? Kind of like... We're talking about the alphabet, we're talking about words and letters and phrases. We're talking about word rules. So now we talked about the word. That's just your 4, which is your circled 3. That's your 18, which is your circled 8. That's your 15, which is your circled 5. And your 23 is just your doubly circled 3. And if that's a 1 by 3 and a 1 by 3, that's like your 9, which is your circled 8. Read it backwards. 3858. Now, there's always a U after Q.
But there's always a U after Q. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. 15 plus 5 is 20. 20 plus 0 is 1. There's always a U after Q, guy.
Guaranteed. So there's your 17. It's the 17th letter of our alphabet. That's the 21st letter of our alphabet. 2 and a 1 is a 3. 1 and a 7 is an 8. Read it backwards. You have a 3, 8 everywhere. So one of our word rules is that if ever you're going to use Q code, you need a U after it. We watch the land. Imagine our bodies buried within. Q is 17. Hey Rosetta. Hey Tim Baker, you wanna fund this much? All the blur and green.
Green means 3858.
Imagine our bodies hovering.
I think it'll cost 144 grand to make because 12 flats. So if you buy eggs, okay, okay, they come in like a flat with like flats inside. So for 12, for 12 in a box, and if you get 12 boxes, that is called a gross. A gross is 12 cases of 12 flats. I think this is how much it's going to cost to make this. Okay, I'm thinking 50 grand for supplies for one, 50 grand for the supplies for the second one. I need about $1 grand a month to live for 2 years, let's say, so that's 24K. And then you probably need an additional whatever money to figure it out. I don't know, I have to probably buy tools to do this. Anyway, so it's gross. Okay. G is your 7, R is your 18. Oh, okay. Every GR word. And 8 is just a circled 7. Alright, so right away we have circled 7, circled 7. I cut my strings and I went wandering. Check, check. We're left with 1519119. 111599. I don't know. 111149.
Between two poles, one was dirt and the other one gold.
It's a one-dimensional line of 7. It's 17. It's Q. Yeah, it works. Fuck me.
You give me that funny feeling in my tummy.
Ugh. You give me that funny feeling in my tummy. So it's 7716. If this is 13, that's 14, that's 15, that's 16. And I could, let's say, circle it. You know, because the number of God is 777, the number of Satan is 666. In the middle of the matrix, coincidentally, is the 76. 7 is the moon, and 6 is the sun. Or are the luminaries that we see in the sky, like right now, is that the moon? Should we call that the moon? Anyway.
Oh, they push and pull. If what is evil is the other one good?
Live.
Is it good?
So where am I trying to get with all my... I said I'd write something this week, so... Yeah, okay, 7,716 magnets are required for 2 devices. I found out where equals come from. Live.
'Cause we're always on the edge. Oh, we're always on the edge. Just something bigger than this.
Equals comes from 7 of 9 from the Borg. Okay? What are you doing? You're making a big N. You're making a big N in a circled smaller M. You start counting the things, and you go over here, it's kind of interesting. So, whatever, I don't even want to explain it to you, but I added 14 to the 42, and I got 56, and I saw 1, 4, 5, 6, and I said, that was funny. Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause we're always on the edge. Oh, we're always on the edge of some impossible trick.
Sure. But the equal sign, it's one, 7 of 9 means the 7 zeros between the 2 sideways 69s that create the stairway to heaven. Okay, it's a difference between a segment, that's your 7 of 9, and a fly speck. Okay.
Well, I spit my beats. Well, the words are sweet, but they hardly speak, so I shut my teeth, and I won't say anything.
But you already said everything.
They're not equal. Like, it's part of the equal sign, I think. Let's see how it folds eventually, guy. Anyway, I was thinking about this earlier, but I'm getting off track now.
I shut my teeth, I won't say anything. I shut my teeth.
I had a pretty quantum day. No. Quantum. Here. This is what's happened to... This is what I observed in the last little while on TV shows. There's a show called The Office. Okay, there's a guy called Kevin. And there's a girl called Phyllis. And since you remember, Phyllis is equal to Dragon Lady. We're in Jewish gematria and English gematria. I think it's like 607 and 606. And that's the closest phrase or word that I've ever seen where it meant the same number in Jewish as it does English. And the character who plays Phyllis in The Office, her real name is Phyllis in real life. I don't know if his name is really Kevin. But yeah, they were playing like Office Olympics where they had like phone books on their feet and they had to race each other. And then another episode, there's like the A team for the bar trivia and then the B team, but they got it on like, you know, they both had to go on the C team, and they eventually like won trivia. And I just find that interesting because it's a term of endearment, people. Oh my God, you understand. But very quantum in my world. My term of endearment, okay, means 607, 606, okay, it's the closest one I can get. It means the all-seeing eye. Alright, and like I said, Phyllis means the exact same numbers, but not a lot of other things do. Because it says the best of Phyllis, followed by best of, you know, Austin Lee Meredith. 3, 8, 5, 8. Ian 3. Now, another example of how quantum everything is going. There is a show called this. And there is a show called Three, 8, 5, 8. Saves the world. The only other person I talk about this in the flesh with is a guy named That. In the show that I did, in the movie I did with the Bugs Bunny, and I did that numbers game, there was a John next to a Kevin. On the other team, there was a Sean. And, I don't know. The score was 38 to 29. Those two teams. You got double something. Since this is like my first and middle name, kind of. I was kind of missing that. Make up like 2 people, I'd say. Does it help that my buddy Sean is 58 years old and I'm 36 years old? But since there's 2 of us, yeah, that's like real. You give me that funny feeling in my tummy. I don't know what that is, but anyway, things like that. Very quantum. Now all I did was I did circle 3 is 13, because that one goes around 3. 21 is just 2 circles around a 1. 20 is just 2 circles around a 0. 14 is just a circle around a 4. I'm doing it a different way. I left the 1 alone for now. 21 is just 2 circles around a 1. And 17 is just a circle around a 7. Cool. Now, if you remember, I say that a 9 is equivalent to a circled 0, 1. Now, that circle could either be a 0 or a 1. So, this guy, a 1 circled 3 times, or a 0 circle, a 1 circled twice, or a 0 circled twice, doesn't matter. To me, is a 9. It's showing me 110 some way, depending on your point of view. I left that alone, circled 7, circled 4, circled 3, and I left the 1 alone. Okay. And then I said 9 and 9 is 18. Okay. And I said 9 and 1 circles the 9. And I left everything else alone. That's a circled 8. A circled 5. A circled 4 is a 5. And I said a circled 9, for the shits and giggles, is a 10. A circled 7 is an 8. Like a whisper. Talking bubble math, people. I am lost and I'm loving the view.